Hello and welcome to the Emotionless podcast. My name is Logan, and as always, I am your wonderful host. So glad you're here. So glad to have you around. You special little duck. Thank you so much. So this is part 3 to the life skills series. Now in our previous episode, we kind of discussed the trauma that happened to me with having to bathe in front of somebody and having to be watched while showered. And then what happened with my therapist afterwards. Now, this next part's going to be completely freestyle from my head. The last two parts have been stuff and notes that I've written down, and I didn't get enough time to write the rest down because I want to crank these episodes out for you. So to the best recollection of my memory, I went up to my learning specialist. Now, she is such a doll. She is so sweet. She is so caring. Her job is to focus on my academics, but she doesn't see it that way. She sees it as I need to focus on your mental health and how that's impacting your academics, because she thinks that it shouldn't be the counselor's job to focus on all aspects of your mental health, and the counselor should really focus on your social mental health, and that the learning specialist should focus on your academic mental health. How are your assignments impacting your mental health? How is your schoolwork impacting your mental health? How is in-class impacting your mental health? How are your teachers impacting your mental health? And I think that's so important, because I think a lot of college students' mental health issues come from not only the social aspect, but the academic aspect, and the things that they struggle with in academics, the things they struggle with doing, such as turning in assignments on time, making presentations, presenting presentations. I know that causes a lot of students a lot of anxiety, and for good reason. I am so hyper right now. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Why am I so hyper? Sorry, 3 o'clock in the morning. Why am I so hyper? Probably because I slept till 3 p.m. That wasn't very smart. But it's so true that a student's academics are completely a result of where they are mentally. And, it sounds cliche, it sounds like an excuse, but the truth is, if a student is not doing well mentally, then how can we ever expect them to do well academically? Because they're going to be so focused on getting themselves better mentally that they're not going to care about how they're doing academically. And I think that's exactly what happened to me. So, moving on. So I go to my learning specialist, and she's like, okay, you're upset. Like, this is very clearly obvious something happened. And then, as if like on cue, the phone rings. And she picks up the phone, and it's my counselor. And my counselor kind of gives her the shakedown on what happened. She's like, I'll let Logan tell you the majority of the story, but he went through something really bad. Please talk to him. And she's like, hey, Logan, is everything good? And so I give her the whole story. I tell him how I had to shower in front of him. I tell her how this is all something the Title IX coordinator set up, how this is all something that was set up by her, and something that I believe was not an accident. And she goes, okay, well, I don't think they would do this with malintention, but I'm not going to discount the trauma you went through. I'm not going to discount your upset. I'm not going to discount the PTSD. I'm not going to discount the body issues. And then she came over and socially distanced, hugged me, and reminded me that I'm a beautiful angel human being, because she's a beautiful angel human being, and the world seriously does not deserve her. Thank you so much to my learning specialist. You know who you are, and I love you so much. And she, she's very upset when she hears what happened, because she doesn't want to hear that any of these are happening to her children. We're her children, and we're so important to her. We're important to her job, and she cares for us genuinely. She's not there for a paycheck. She's there to care for us. And I think that's kind of what divides the staff at this college, is half of them are there for a paycheck and half of them are there because they care about them. There's no in between. And so, she's like, hang on one second. I'm going to go talk to the president of the director of the Student Center for Success, which is where her office is located, who happens to be the wife of the president. And so they go and talk, and she comes back in. Before she brings in the other, she's like, the director wants to talk to you. Are you open to talking to her about what happened? I'm like, absolutely, let's do this. I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to get this solved. And the first thing the director says, I start to talk, and she goes, Logan, before you start to talk, I need to apologize. I am so sorry this happened to you. I am so sorry for what you experienced. I am so sorry that one of my staff acted like this on you. And I am so sorry for everything that's happened to you. And I go, don't apologize. It's not your fault. You were not in the setup of this. You were not part of this. Don't be sorry. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I thank you for your apology, but remember, it's not your fault. You weren't there. There was nothing you could have done, but I appreciate it. She's like, of course. I just want to make sure you know that I don't condone what happened. And I'm like, of course you don't, and I know you don't. She goes, first of all, as you know, or may not know, I am the wife of the president of the college, and I will be speaking to him about this, which is funny because nothing was ever done, but we'll get into that later. But I'm going to be talking to him about this. And I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad this is going to the higher ups. She's like, we do have to talk to the Title IX coordinator about this because this falls under Title IX. No, it actually doesn't. It falls under, it's illegal and wrong. And I don't know. I think what was most frustrating is that all of these people were taking what happened so seriously, and then as soon as it was brought to the Title IX coordinator, it's just like,
Title IX coordinator, there's this student in the office that wants to talk to you. Hang on, I'm eating my sandwich.
hey, with that
Student with a problem? He can wait 20 minutes.
You guys don't understand how much I wish I was making that up. I mean, I am, but like, it's a pretty spot-on impression. She literally did not care. She thought I was lying. She thought I was being dramatic. And she didn't say that, but that's the way she acted. She did allow me to file, like, a testimony, so to speak, and an official report, and told me, we will work on this. And I said, wrong answer. You're not going to work on it. Here's what's going to happen. I am not going to be seeing him anymore, whether you like it or not. I will refuse. I will run screaming that I'm being assaulted if he comes near me. Okay? Okay. Glad we got that established. She goes, Logan, you're being very rude. And I said, I don't care. I was forced to show my naked body to someone I don't trust. I have a right to be angry, and I'm going to be angry, especially at you, because this is your fault. You put him with me, you knew he had intentions, and you let him do it anyways. This is your fault. Sorry, I get a little angry every time I tell this story. And then, as if that wasn't enough, I told her, I will not see him anymore. I will not see any male attendant anymore because I don't want anyone in the bathroom with me anymore because that's ridiculous. And she's like, Logan, I understand you're upset, but you need to calm down. I'm like, I will not calm down. I will not be quiet. I will not be silenced. In fact, you're lucky I don't go to the police, and I should. I didn't actually say that, but God, it would have been such a girl queen power move to say that. Next time, keep it in my notes. Because Lord knows if I ever go back to that awful place, it'll happen again. So she told me that from now on, I would be seeing a different female life skills coach, and that they would not be allowed in my apartment. And I actually skipped the first 2 meetings because I wasn't doing this. I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to be part of this. And I wasn't going to deal with this. And then she said the thing that I think was the funniest. Do you want him fired? That was me banging my head against the microphone, if you couldn't tell. Yes, I want this man fired, and more importantly, I want you fired. I want you to not have a job anymore. I want you to be homeless. I want you to experience what it feels like. I want you to suffer. Because it is your fault. And it will always be your fault. The trauma and PTSD I have will always be linked back to you. And you know exactly who you are. And I hope you are so comfortable in your little fucking mansion, rolling in all the money you make by exploiting students, you fucking piece of shit. I hope you know there is a special place for you to burn in hell for all of the eternities of ever. And I can't wait to see you there. You despicable piece of shit. Again, like I said, I'm sorry. I get really heated when I tell this story because it is so angering that what happened to me was treated like a joke. That I was asked if this man wanted to be... Oh my god, it's so fucking angering. Every time I think about it, it makes me so fucking angry. Okay. Let's move on. To the best of my memory, from that point on, I never saw him again. I don't know if he was fired. I don't know if he was ever disciplined. I don't know what happened to him. I was never told anything. I was never given any updates. We never went to trial. We never went to a hearing. Nothing. I was never given been able to talk to anyone about it, and I was told to keep quiet about it. Red flag. If you don't think that forcing someone to show that another person that they don't trust their naked body will fuck them up for the rest of their life, you have some serious problems. Because I will never recover from this. But I am not a victim. I am a survivor. I survived a sexual experience that I did not want to experience. And I will not let you take my innocence like you tried to. You tried to take my innocence. You tried to strip me of my rights. You tried to hide the truth. And I'm not letting that happen anymore. I am a survivor. I am not a victim. I was never a victim, and I never will be a victim. I am a survivor of your mental and physical abuse and torture that you put me through. The people of this college are sick in the head and need some serious help before they continue this malnourishment and malpractice they're running. And I will speak out about it, and I will not be silenced. Thank you. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry, I know this was a really hard episode, and I know I got really emotional. I get really heated telling this story because it is so fucked in the head. As always, please follow us on Instagram, emotionless.podcast, or Twitter, emotions_podcast. Please, email us your stories. I'm curious, what are you going through? emotionless.podcast@gmail.com. Again, that's emotionless.podcast@gmail.com. A reminder, you are so loved, you are so important, and we are so lucky to have you. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see the amazing things you do. You are so incredible, and we love you.